Hello there, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Clarissa. I put out new pick a card readings. Sometimes I do a collective reading once a week. And as you can tell by the title of this week's video, we're going to be looking at what it is that you need to be focusing on, perhaps like what you've been neglecting or what needs more of your attention. So we're going to be looking at that today. I have 3 different piles for you to choose from. Well, 3 different cards or selectors or groups, whatever, for you to choose from. So this will be the card that represents group number 1. This is 2 and 3. I will go ahead and flip over the cards here shortly. Perhaps you'll be drawn to the word on the card, the number, the astrological symbol, this is the Green Witch Oracle, so there's like different fruits, veg, plants, things like that. Maybe you'll be drawn to that. Whatever it may be, that'll help you. So for group number 1, you guys have passion. This is a beetroot. It looks like we have little, I don't know, looks like it's a candle of some sort, but it looks like maybe a potion bottle or something below. I believe that this is the astrological symbol for Leo, and then we have the number 7. So maybe you are drawn to one of those aspects. For group number 2, we have victory. Number 44, we have a crown. We have nasturtium. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's the flower. And then this is the astrological symbol for Aries. So there may be a couple different things that you're drawn to on this card. And then for group number 3, we have wholeness. Number 33, black mulberry. And then that is the astrological sign for Aquarius. So you may be drawn to any of those things on that card as well. If you need to, you can take a moment to pause the video and decide what it is you're the most drawn to. If you feel drawn to more than one, you can listen to multiple. You can listen to the entire video, whatever suits you. But I don't think it would be wrong for you to focus on, or for you to be drawn to more than one pile essentially. But go ahead and take the time if you need to, and then once you have made your selection, you can go to the description box down below, where I will have individual timestamps for each reading, so then you can select from there and go directly to your reading. Thank you so much for joining me this week, you guys. I'm really looking forward to these readings. I think that they should be really interesting, really fun, and I will see you shortly in your reading. Hello there, my group number 1s. As a reminder, if you chose passion, then this is your reading this week. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So I have your tarot cards laid out here with this passion card, and then we have some additional oracle cards that we'll get into. So we have passion, we have the Hierophant, the Hermit, the 2 of Wands, and the 10 of Swords. So before we get into it though, I do want to say my animals are in the room today, so hopefully they're quiet. No promises, but I'll pause if it gets really bad. So with these cards laid out here, it seems as if Spirit is saying that you need to focus more on getting to know yourself. Know yourself, spending time alone, asking yourself, like, what do you truly value? What is important to you? I get this feeling that you've been boxing yourself in also, like you're trying to make yourself fit into a perfect mold. And you don't have to do this, group number 1. You don't have to be able to so tightly define yourself and put yourself in this box where then you're not able to or you feel constricted and you're not able to change or make adjustments or see the gray, right? There's this part of you that's been longing to emerge, this version of you that's more alive because they're living a life that inspires them and that allows them to pursue what they are passionate about. You may also be neglecting yourself and how you've been caring for yourself. It's time to start spending more time with yourself. Journaling could be something that is helpful for you at this time so that you can better connect and understand yourself. And if you do choose to do this, group number 1, it's really important that you really allow yourself to journal openly and you don't hide any of the emotions or thoughts that you're having in fear that like somebody may read your journal, right? There's always a possibility that someone may read our journal, but the whole point of us like writing in a journal or, you know, writing things down is for us to be able to look back on who we were and like the growth that we've had, but also like allowing ourselves that space to be open and vulnerable, especially if you don't feel like you can do that in your like normal day to day. But that's just something that kind of came up. It may not be something that resonates for everyone listening to this reading, but I just think that might be something that's very helpful for you to better understand yourself, and to better connect with yourself. And there are like multiple journals on the market where they give you like certain prompts to like really get to know yourself on a deeper level and like see who you are from a deeper perspective, and really being able to write about some very like emotionally intense and vulnerable things. And some of these journals also have they'll literally come with a match, and it's for you to like burn the journal once you're done writing, to again allow you that space to be very open and authentic, and to really like allow yourself to write all of your emotions down without fear that someone else is going to read it and like judge how you were feeling, okay? Let's see here. Neglect. I feel like you may also be neglecting your emotions. With passion coming up here, this can also talk about like the heart chakra being kind of blocked off. So if you've been having a hard time really feeling your emotions, expressing your emotions, allowing yourself to be compassionate and forgiving and loving towards others even, like, I don't know, literally feeling like your heart's all blocked up and you just like have no tears left to cry or no emotion left to give. I think it's really important that maybe you look into that and doing some work there if that resonates with you. But irregardless, I do feel like this group has been neglecting themselves how they feel, okay? And I think it's really important for you to start doing some work for allowing yourself to be more open. I know that this can really be hard, especially if you're someone that resonates with the idea of having trust issues when it comes to other people. It can be really easy to like block and cage ourselves off, but I get this feeling that Spirit's asking you to really open up that heart chakra so that you can come more from a place of love and understanding for others, as opposed to criticism and judgment. And that may be something even stemming from the relationship with yourself, right? And it usually is. If we're acting one way toward other people, it's because we treat ourselves that way. And it's important for you to allow yourself to love yourself and to allow yourself that safe space to express how you feel. If we don't feel safe to even do that with ourselves, it's nearly impossible to be able to do that with someone else, right? And I think that in order for you to continue to make like meaningful connections in your life, it's important for you to really start doing some of that work. It's interesting here too, because in each of these tarot cards, we only have one person that's like signified here, right? And I really do think that is speaking more to you needing to spend some time alone to do some inner reflection, and really like separating yourself from maybe whether it be like your family, a friend group, whatever, that you feel like your values are, or like you feel like who you are is very intertwined with like being a part of that dynamic. And don't get me wrong, like we are supposed to be very integrated. Sorry, I was looking for the word. We're supposed to be very integrated into community, but sometimes depending on like who the people are, we're picking up things that aren't really us or aren't really true to us. And that kind of happens throughout our entire life. And I think that what Spirit is wanting is for you to really reflect on what's important to you. What do you value? Like what really fuels your fire as well? Because ultimately we got passion here. And I just get this feeling that there's this lacklusterness kind of going on in your life right now, where maybe you feel like you're living in a loop, you feel kind of bogged down, You don't really feel like you're living your best life or being your best self. And I think that in order for you to connect with that and get to that point, it's really important for you to connect with yourself first. With the Two of Wands coming out here in particular, this is why I feel like there may be kind of like a need for you to very tightly define yourself, and you do not need to do that, group number one. It's okay to allow our passions and our interests to kind of guide us, and to pursue those things. And sometimes when we actually go about pursuing those things, we realize, oh, this is fun, this would be like a cute little hobby, but it's not something that like I want to be doing long term, right? And, that doesn't have to be with like work or career or anything related to that. It can literally just be things that we think we're interested in. Then we start doing it and we're like, I'm not really as interested in that as I thought. It's really getting back into that more like a childlike state of allowing yourself the ability to and the freedom to explore different options, explore the things that you are really excited and passionate about and that make you feel alive, right? Because we can get so bogged down by the day-to-day, by the 9 to 5, by like this perpetual loop that sometimes it feels like we're on. And it's important for us to add like beauty back into that, right? For us to have things to look forward to, and things within our day-to-day and within our life that truly like bring us peace and happiness and joy and fulfillment. Again, I feel like there is this part of you, especially with the Ten of Swords coming up, that's just like waiting to emerge. And I think that the big thing kind of blocking you off here is how you feel about yourself with self-love, self-care, and like how you treat yourself. And by allowing yourself the compassion and the space to really connect with you, connect with your emotions, to really ground yourself into your body more, I feel like by doing that and focusing more on that, you're going to allow this like natural change to occur within you, where this more authentic version of yourself is able to come about and come through and like emerge from this caged in kind of box that they're in right now. And in order for us to do that and become that more authentic version of ourselves, we ultimately do have to focus on where we are now, what we're feeling now, and like what we value, so that we can become this version of ourselves, or rather unbecome all of the things that we're not, okay? But I really do feel like ultimately for you, this has a lot to do with love, self-care, compassion, and really allowing yourself the ability to explore, be creative, have fun again. I just really get this sense that you've been neglecting yourself and your ability to have fun and like be joyous and enjoy life. And it's really important that you start focusing more on that and connecting more with that side of yourself. Sorry about that, group number one. I wanted to go ahead and pause there. My cat was starting to get a little rowdy, and then a couple weeks ago, she literally jumped on the table, like basically right over the flame of the candle. And at that point, I was like, nope, can't do that anymore. So I went ahead and kicked her out. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. But let's go ahead and get into your oracle cards. I feel like that's the vast majority of really like what I wanted to say about your tarot cards there. So let's go ahead and get into these oracle cards. So we also got for you the Age of Light. You've been training for this for a lifetime. So what I'm really getting with this card coming out here for you guys, group number one, is that it's important for you to shine your light upon this world in whatever way that is like, that resonates the most with you, right? And one of the things that like is coming to mind for me is I do feel like since you guys have been so blocked up emotionally, it may be that you've had a harder time connecting with others on an emotional level, or having like empathy and compassion for other people. And I think that you guys have a really beautiful heart, group number one. And I say that because Spirit is really pushing for you to, you know, show yourself love and compassion so you're better able to do that for others, to really allow yourself to feel your emotions so that you're better able to understand them in other people. And one of the things that you may be really like shining your light on is like your ability to be loving and caring for other people, and for other people to see you as literally like a reminder that the world isn't so bad. Not everyone in the world is a bad person, and there are truly genuinely like good people and loving people in the world. But whatever it is that like you have a passion for, that excites you and inspires you, that really does allow like your soul and your light to shine through. And so I think it's important for you guys to remember those things and to think about that more when you're making decisions, or when you're trying to figure out like what your values are, even you know, valuing those things that really make you unique and like beautiful, and the things that, you know, really stand out and shine for other people even as well. And I think it's interesting too how we have like her making like a triangle, like a pyramid shape here, and then we have that here too. Again, I think that you guys probably have like a very like naturally high moral code anyway. You live your life with the consideration, with like while taking other people into consideration when you're at your best. And I think it's important for you to get back to that if you felt like blocked off lately, or you feel like, you know, you don't have a lot of like emotion or compassion or empathy to give to other people. Just really focus on that love for yourself, and allow that to shine through for others as well. And then we also have for you, no, wait, postpone, pause, say no. What's really coming through for me here, group number 1, is perhaps some of you have been neglecting yourself because you're so used to putting other people before you, and like neglecting your emotions and like what, you know, you value and what's important to you, because you're so used to putting other people before you. But know that it's okay to have boundaries. It's okay to say no. You can still be like a beautiful light and beacon of love for other people while respecting and loving yourself and having boundaries in place for yourself. And no is a full sentence, okay? You can literally just say no. You never have to explain to anyone why you don't want to do something, or why something does not sound appealing to you, or whatever. You are always allowed to say no, okay? So if you've been, maybe there's been something that you've been in contention, or like that's been conflicting for you for a while, and it's because perhaps maybe you have some people-pleasing tendencies, especially if you're someone that is used to putting like your own emotions or like yourself on the back burner for others. It's time to start putting yourself on that front burner. It's time to start putting yourself first. And one of the best ways for us to do that is to set boundaries with other people and not be afraid to say no. And if that hurts the other person, that's okay. Like, they're allowed to feel some type of way about it, but that doesn't mean that you have to change like what you want and what feels good to you because that hurts somebody else's feelings, okay? Like, it's okay to say no and to honor yourself and what you truly want and need, okay? And then I also have for you, your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon. So I think that this really has to do with, how do I want to phrase this? I think that this has to do with like your commitment to yourself and like your ability to, again, set boundaries, tell people no, spend more time alone, spend more time connecting with yourself. I feel like there will probably be challenges that come along that really, you know, come up to either allow you to like dissociate from this stuff and from like really building that connection with yourself, or to push it off, or for other people to maybe become like more needy or more demanding of you while you're trying to do this. And Spirit's really saying like this commitment that you're going to build for yourself so that you can like really take care of yourself and love yourself and give yourself the time and attention that you need, it is going to be tested. It's not going to be like an easy journey for you, but stay committed to yourself and stay committed to, you know, taking care of and loving yourself so that then you are able to love others. Like, you can't pour from an empty cup, essentially, is what's coming through there. We also have for you, bring love into the situation, new moon in Aquarius. Okay, I think that ultimately, like, this is saying for you to, again, bring love into your life again, bring passion and desire into the situation, bring like these positive emotions into your situation, and have love and compassion for yourself as well as others. But again, I feel like this is just really pointing to opening up that heart chakra and allowing yourself to not be so blocked off anymore. Sometimes it literally, like, we just need to open the gates again, right, for the flood of emotions to be released. And that can be a hard thing to do. So give yourself the time and the grace and the patience to do that. But move with love, and bringing love into the situations may be how you're really supposed to shine your light. So being that love and that person for others, while of course still setting boundaries, not letting people take advantage of us, but allowing ourselves to lead with love. Okay? And then I also have for you, Reggie, chill, buddy, chill. There's nothing in here. He like thinks there's food or something in here. I don't know, y'all. Sorry about that. But finally, we have for you, connect with your ancestors. Okay, I really wanted to get with these cards like some more information about like what you can do, like what self-care acts you can do right now to help yourself during this journey. And connecting with your ancestors, I love that, you know, maybe you can call on your ancestors for more guidance and support. If that's something that resonates for you, you can build an altar for your ancestors. You can really look more into like your ancestral line and your history and where your people came from and the practices that they had. Maybe there are certain things that they were doing in their life that would bring you a lot of joy now. For instance, you know, all of us came from people that used to farm and garden and grow their own food. And, you know, I think that we've lost a big connection to that and to the earth, and maybe it's time for you to, especially with this tree coming up here too, you know, which ancestral trees, whatever, but maybe it's time for you to like get back into nature, get back to the earth, and do those things, like some of those rituals or practices that your ancestors were doing that allowed them to feel connected to one another, to the planet, whatever. And you know, ultimately, I think that one thing I want to say too is, you know, Spirit isn't expecting you to be alone forever, right? It's just like right now, you really need to spend more time with yourself and providing yourself the love and care that you need, so that you can go back into the community and give to other people without completely draining yourself. But yeah, I would look more into like your ancestral history, your line, maybe where your people came from and the practices that they were accustomed to. There may be something in there that really resonates with you that you may want to start adding to your own daily practice or weekly, monthly, whatever. And finally, I have for you guys music. I love this. Music is such a beautiful thing and can really allow us to feel connected to ourselves, to our community, to other people. And music also can really allow us to connect with our emotions. So maybe listening to music that allows you to better connect with yourself, maybe with meaningful lyrics or certain sounds or instrumentals. I literally, before recording this, was listening to like Studio Ghibli piano. It's like a 10-hour like piano version of like the different melodies and songs in the movies. And I don't know, it brings me joy. It allows me to connect to my inner child, and it just makes me happy. So maybe doing things like that make you happy and joyful and allow you to feel like reinvigorated for your life. So Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave your reading here, group number 1. I hope that this resonated for you. If it did, please leave me a comment down below letting me know. Give this video a thumbs up so that this message can reach as many other people as possible that may need to hear it today. I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining me. And I literally almost forgot to say, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put out new pick a card readings. Sometimes I'll do like a collective reading once a week. But again, love you guys so much. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you in a future reading. Bye. Hello there, group number 2. As a reminder, if you chose the victory card, then this is your reading this week. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. As a disclaimer, my dog is here in the background. You may hear random Frenchy noises or a snoring dog. If he gets really loud, I will stop or pause the video, but I hope that we should be okay. He's just been kind of sleeping, so we'll see. But we're going to go ahead and get right into it. I have your tarot cards laid out here, and then I have some additional oracle cards that we'll look at as well. So we have for you the 5 of Swords, the Emperor, the Page of Swords, and the Knight of Cups, as well as Victory, which you chose. So this one is really interesting, group number 2. In Victory, I'm seeing that you really need to celebrate your small accomplishments, quote unquote small. You need to take time to celebrate, relish, and enjoy the changes, the feats, the leaps and bounds that you've made in your progress, okay? By doing this, it will make life so much sweeter and enjoyable, but it will also allow you to build your confidence, because it will allow you to see how much you've accomplished and how far you've come. And I don't think that you guys give yourself very much time to pause and be still and relish in what you have accomplished. And I think that you guys have accomplished a lot, especially with Victory coming up here. It's also interesting and sort of funny that we have Victory and the Emperor coming out here. Victory, as we can see, this card is associated with Aries. The Emperor is also the card that represents Aries in the tarot. And so I think it's very interesting and funny that that came out as well. I feel like it's important for you to feel confident in yourself and your capabilities, but with the 5 of Swords, it's also important for you to not forget your community. Allow yourself to work with others. I feel like you have a great ability to lead, obviously with Victory and the Emperor coming out, but now it's time to garner support. And we can find support and community in some of the most unlikely places. Don't knock people before you really get to know them. And don't assume that others don't share your interests or wouldn't be willing to help you achieve your goals. When one of us shines, we all shine. But don't feel like you have to do everything yourself. I think that with the Page of Swords and the Knight of Cups coming out here, you're being asked to be more expressive. It's time to really communicate and show others your heart, show others who you really are. Others will be drawn to you and your beautiful, bright ideas, but they can't be if you don't open yourself up. Focus on being open, and you'll be astounded at what you can give and what you can receive once you do. So for you guys, I feel like Spirit overall is saying to focus on communication, open-mindedness, connection with others, and appreciation or gratitude for how far you've come. I can tell that it's no small feat with what you've accomplished, group number 2. Sorry, my friend, she was rolling around back there if you heard all that noise. But I think that you don't give yourself enough credit, and I think that more often than not, you're really hard on yourself because maybe you accomplish something that in your eyes is really small because you're so focused on the top of the mountain, right? And you're not focused on all the little things that you have to do along the way to get yourself there. Because we don't just walk up a mountain with no problem, right? It takes a lot of effort and a lot of patience and a lot of calculation, really, because, we can't just climb a mountain without having the proper gear. Like, I'm literally, like, actually talking about climbing a mountain, you know, obviously metaphorically as well, but we can't just climb a mountain without having the proper shoes, the proper gear, the proper food and hydration. Like, there's a lot of things that we have to do to get ourselves there, and I think that you really don't give yourself enough credit. Like I said, with the Five of Swords coming out, I think that maybe there's been previous things that have happened in your life that have made you feel like other people are the enemy, or other people aren't willing to help or be there for you. And I think that it's really important that you start focusing more on your community and what other people can help you with, focusing more on what makes us similar versus what makes us different. One thing that's like coming to mind here, sorry, give me 1 second. My Frenchie's being loud. Sorry. But anyway, one thing that's coming to mind here, like for an example, is let's say that you're really passionate about starting a community garden. Maybe you're somebody that, and like this is just an example, right? This doesn't have to be true for you, but maybe you were somebody that grew up in a food desert and had a lot of food insecurity, and you want to be able to help other people have access to like nutritious foods, and have access to food, period. I'm so sorry. He like, of course, wants to get up and act like this when I'm recording. But like I was saying, maybe you're somebody that grew up very food insecure, and because of that, you're like really passionate about starting a community garden, but you have to get all of these permits, and you have to get like signatures from other people, and you have to like do all of this other stuff, right? And maybe that's really deterring you because it's something that you really want to do, and it's something that you feel like would benefit a lot of people, because you're like a very kind and giving person. And it's like a very good idea because maybe currently where you live, there's not a lot of access for people to fruits and vegetables, or like even the ability to learn how to grow their own food. And you're worried though that maybe your community isn't going to be supportive of this. Maybe there aren't going to be people that are going to want to help. A lot of people will oppose it. But maybe we're talking to the wrong people, or maybe we're being too judgmental of people without actually giving them the benefit of the doubt or speaking to them first. And that's another thing that's coming up, is maybe focus more on, again, like what makes us similar, like the positivity in like this connection or relationships, as opposed to focusing on all the things that make us different, or all the things that may come between us, right? I think that it's just very important for you to focus on those things so you can truly build connection and garner support, right? Because by you expressing how you feel and being like, you know, I think this is a really good idea, it would provide a lot of value to the community, it would allow people access to nutritious fruits, vegetables, things that like also don't have a lot, that are like organic, that don't have a lot of pesticides, whatever it may be, right? And I feel like there are going to be a lot of other people that are in support of this idea as well, that really like this idea, but you won't know if you're not willing to be like open and sharing that idea with other people, okay? So again, you don't have to be like starting a garden or like wanting to start a community garden. That's just an example. But again, I think it's really important for you to focus on being open and really allowing like your heart to shine through, connecting with people on an emotional level, and it'll really help garner that support that you're looking for. Because again, we can focus on our differences all day, but when we focus on what makes us similar, on the different things that like we all want, or like by finding people that also share similarity with us in the community. So again, finding people in the community that would also be really interested in a community garden, that see value in it, and like having those people support us and like help us. Maybe you're not really good at like writing I don't know, like what you would have to write to the city. I've never done this before. Every place is different. But, you know, maybe you're not really good at drafting those things. Maybe somebody in this community is. Maybe somebody else has connections with the city and would be able to get permits through faster. Like, we can accomplish a lot more together. So it's important for us to focus on that. But again, I do feel like you guys have some very strong leadership qualities, especially with this Aries energy coming through here. You don't have to be an Aries, but I mean, Aries is like the initiator, like the leader of the zodiac. They're the first sign of the zodiac. And so taking on more of that like leadership mentality and, you know, being able to help organize and oversee everything for everyone, kind of seeing the different moving pieces and parts, while being like a fair and just ruler with the Emperor, right? Being wise and taking other people's opinions and things into account. But yeah, really trying to like find the best people for the job, and using your collective, bargaining your collective action to really push things forward and be able to accomplish what you want. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to your oracle cards now here. I have a couple that we'll get into. So first off, we have the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. So I think that what Spirit is saying here is that you being able to do this, to really allow yourself to be a leader and rely on other people for assistance, have other people help you, make those connections, is going to be really important for you throughout your life. Being able to communicate with others and being able to find common ground with other people will be very important for you while you progress through your life, and it'll better allow you to like accomplish what you're wanting to in your life when you do allow yourself to rely on others for assistance. And literally it can even just be like you allowing a family member, significant other, somebody to like help you and be there for you, provide you with support, whether it be like emotional, financial, you know, physical, whatever it is. But allowing people to do that, I feel like, you know, this is kind of a rite of passage for you to go through, and like really understanding the value of community and like sharing ideas and leading with an open heart and like really showing people who we are, that this is important for you. Like it's probably like a really big life lesson that will then allow like other doors to open for you. And then we also have for you, trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? So for some of you, I feel like this card is coming up because perhaps these are things you've been thinking about for a while, in terms of things that you need to focus on. If that's the case for you, this is your confirmation that you really need to start focusing more on these aspects that we've gone over. Also, I think that trust the niggle can really point to you guys are very intuitive, and I think that you know the kind of people that you're going to be able to attract with your ideas, or the kind of people that you can draw in. And I think that you're a very good judge of character because you have such a strong intuition. So listen to your intuition about certain people. You know, if you get to know someone and there's something about them that you don't trust, it's okay to listen to that feeling, but don't block out every single person because you're afraid of trusting others, okay? It is really important for you to, again, rely on community at this time and focus on community and helping build each other up and relying on others. So don't just like, again, knock people before you get to know them. But I think that you will know with certain people that you're meeting, that you're drawn to like throughout your journey, whether they're people that you can actually rely on and depend on to help you or not, okay? I also have for you, emotions are running high, super moon. I really get the feeling that whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, you're very, very passionate about group number 2. And like I said, it's really important for you to express that, express how you feel. And there will be a lot of other people that are just as like emotionally invested as you are. But you have to give those people a chance to come forward by expressing how you feel, expressing what you're wanting to accomplish, and again, being willing and open to showing people your heart, okay? Show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. I think that this is very self-explanatory, literally what we were just talking about. So I'm going to let it speak for itself, but really like open yourself up, allow people to see the most vulnerable, authentic side of you. And I promise you, there are going to be people that love you, that dig you, that like want to help you out, that want to help you when it comes to achieving your goals. They want to support you. Allow them to do that. But again, allow yourself to be open and communicate those goals and ideas. With this last set of oracle cards, I really wanted to look at, you know, different things that you can do right now to support yourself, like different acts of self-care, things like that to get you through, and to help you during this part of your journey. So we have massage. It's really hard work being a leader and being a ruler and having all of these ideas, especially when we're worried that, you know, other people won't see things the way that we do or won't want to help us, or that we're going to meet a lot of opposition. So it's really important for you to give your body the love and care that it needs during this time. Go get a massage if you need that. It can be very, very healing. Also, just like paying attention to the parts of our body that feel more achy or need, like they again need more attention. For me, for example, it's always like my shoulders, my back, and like my feet. And so you may have like certain body parts that are more susceptible to becoming like tense. So really kind of like paying attention to that, understanding that, maybe even looking into further like why that occurs, right? Because sometimes our shoulders can get very tense because we feel the weight of the world on our shoulders. Sometimes our feet can get very tense because we are putting so much pressure on ourselves overall, right? And so looking into those different things and like why this pain or tension may be manifesting into different areas of the body, because we hold certain trauma or emotions in different areas of the body, and really focusing on massage can help alleviate some of that and allow those emotions to kind of be worked through and allow them to leave the body. And then finally, I have for you, be still. I think I mentioned earlier that I think you guys have a hard time being still, being present, allowing yourself to really enjoy the things that you have accomplished and how far you've come. You guys have come very far. You're not going to be perfect at this all of the time when it comes to like being able to properly communicate, relying on people, all of that good stuff. That's okay to not be perfect at it. It's just important to try, and to like try to get better at it, try to make adjustments as we go along. But allow yourself to be still, allow yourself to sit in gratitude, allow yourself to enjoy the accomplishments and like how far you've come, because nothing that you've done has been small, group number 2. And I think that in your eyes it is, because you're not to the top of the mountain yet, like we talked about. But it's okay to take a beat, take a minute, and really like bask in how far you've come. I mean, if you're halfway up the mountain and you've never looked back, it's okay to take a rest and, you know, allow yourself to look at how much work you've done and how far you've come, and to really sit in and appreciate that. So I'm going to go ahead and leave your reading here, group number 2. I really hope that this resonated for you. If it did, please leave me a comment down below letting me know. Give this video a thumbs up so that it can reach as many other people as possible that may need to hear this message. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my channel. I put out new pick a card readings, sometimes tarot collective readings once a week. I love you guys so much, and I again really hope that this was helpful for you and allows you to see what it is that you need to be focusing on more. And I hope to see you in a future reading. Bye. Hello there, group number 3. As a reminder, if you chose wholeness, then this is your reading this week. We're going to go ahead and get into it. I do have a little disclaimer. My Frenchie, my little Reggie, is in the room with me. So you may hear random Frenchie noises, snorting, snoring, farting, I don't know. But if he gets to be really loud, I will pause the video and make some adjustments. But I'm just gonna let him stay in here for now. He is just kind of snoozing, so hopefully he stays that way. So we'll get into these first, and then I have some additional oracle cards for you as well. So as a reminder, we have Wholeness, the Ace of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, the World, and the Ace of Wands. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. With Wholeness, since this is the card that you selected, I see completion. I'm also seeing the same thing in the World card here. I think that you need to focus on being present, focus on the completion, the ending of your current chapter in your life. Allow yourself to feel all of the feelings, as I get the sense that this ending may be a bit bittersweet for you. We aren't always ready for a chapter to end, but it is time for you to focus on the new beginnings that can come from this ending. You're at a place where you can really begin to expand your mind and take on passion or intuition inspired opportunities. It is very important for you to not focus on the past and the mistakes that have been made there, but to focus on the possibility of the future. I feel like there's so much opportunity and excitement that awaits you, so much to explore and see. Now is the time to begin your new chapter. Stop holding on so tightly to the past. You are ready for this next phase. This previous chapter, this ending that we are experiencing, has thoroughly prepared you. So stop holding yourself back from exploring new opportunities. You are meant to grow, expand, and change. Allow these things to happen. Don't fight it. Resistance will lead to more problems. Also, with the Three of Pentacles coming out here, I feel like you really need to focus on your community. Focus on those who have loved and supported you in your most recent journey. Know that their love and support is a key to your success, and you are not alone. You always have people in your corner. Don't allow issues with people in the past to cloud your current connections. These connections will also be important for you in your future endeavors, okay? So, you know, it's interesting because we have two cards that to me are representing the ending of the cycle with the World and the Wholeness coming out here. And then we have the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands, which really talks about new beginnings, unlimited opportunities, possibilities, and, you know, we're looking at the mind here with the Ace of Swords, and we're looking at the spirit here. We're looking at our soul. We're looking at our passions, our desires, and it's interesting with the way the Ace of Wands is depicted in this deck. It really is almost like, you know, we've spent our time in this realm, this dimension, this chapter. We've done all that we can. And this new door, this new pathway has opened for us. And it's really time for us to seize this opportunity for expansion. Even though it can be scary, even though we can be hesitant, even though it can be worrisome about like what is to come, that's the beauty of it, right? That we don't know all of the possibilities. We don't know how everything is going to end up for us, but it's important that we take the opportunity to expand and grow and continue learning. But yeah, I really feel like ultimately also, like I said, with the Three of Pentacles, that the thing that's scary about something ending and something new beginning is we can feel very alone in that process, but Spirit's really wanting to remind you that you are not alone, and you can focus on and give attention to these relationships that are nourishing for you, that are supportive of you, that want to see you succeed because, again, they see their success as your success. So lean into those relationships, you know, allow yourself to be supported where you need it. Allow yourself to rely on other people for that support, for that comfort, for that help that you may need in this transitional period. And it's perfectly fine to need community and need help and support from others. And, you know, don't forget that you're not alone. Even though this can feel like a very lonely journey, you're never alone. You always have people in your corner that are wanting to be there for you, but we do have to ask for that, right? yeah, I just feel like you have a lot of ideas and there's a lot of expansion that can be done with your mind, and it's just time for you to focus on allowing yourself to feel the things you need to with this closure of this chapter so you can focus on these new opportunities and new beginnings that are being presented for you. Okay, group number 3. Let me take a drink here real quick and then we're going to get into your oracle cards as well. Okay. So, we have here for you, Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? Okay, group number 3. I feel like this is really talking about your journey at hand. Like, your soul is being called to pursue new opportunities, to take the path less traveled, to explore new possibilities. And I feel like that's where you're really being called to at this time. This is really reminding me, and this may be the case for some of you, of a situation where perhaps, like, let's say that you've lived in the same city or the same state or the same country your entire life, and you're really being called to leave, to go to a new city, a new state, a new country, whatever, it's really time for you to answer that call. It's time for you to listen to that intuitive side of yourself. Really, it's interesting because, the Ace of Wands can talk about, like, again, our soul, our intuition, our higher self. And I feel like that part of you, your soul, has been waiting for you for a while to be done with this portion so that you're able to move through this next door, this next opportunity. And I think it's really important for you to go where you're being called to journey. There may be a lot in wherever you're supposed to go that you're supposed to experience and see and, do. And it can be very, very scary for us to leave behind our comfort zone, for us to leave behind what we've always known in pursuit of something different. But I really feel like this is something that your soul is wanting to experience in this lifetime, and it's important for you to honor that. It's important for you to go after these things that you are being drawn to. These doors are opening, these opportunities are opening for you for a reason. You're supposed to explore and make these changes, and you may not, be like called to travel anywhere. You may not be called to move anywhere, but you are being called to move away from this current situation, to really allow yourself to close this chapter and to experience this ending so that you're able to experience a new beginning. Okay. I also have for you the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? Okay. So what are you holding on to? Why are you holding on so tightly? I do feel like there is, like I said, that's why I feel like there's this part of this change that is very bittersweet for you. Perhaps a relationship ended, a really close friendship, or a relationship with a significant other that you saw lasting for a lot longer than what it did. And I understand that can be very heartbreaking and very hard to move past. But it's time that you allow yourself to feel that and feel that ending, and like really stop. What I'm hearing is like, you may be dissociating from what happened. You may be ignoring what happened, and it's time for you to face what has happened and this ending head on, and to really focus on that. Again, allow yourself to feel what you need to feel through this situation so you're able to move on into this next chapter. We don't want to be stuck forever. We don't want to be in the same perpetual loop forever. And like I said, I understand that this could be something that's very difficult, but it is time for you to let go. It's time for you to move on. And I just think that that's something that Spirit really wants you to know, is we can't keep clinging on to the past. We have to make way for the doors to open for the future. It's so funny too, because this is really like a doorway opening. This is a doorway that's been opened. It's time for you to pursue the beauty on the other side of the door, to explore the possibilities and opportunities on that other side of the door. It's time for you to leave those things in the past. And really, like, I truly, truly 100% believe that in order for us to do that successfully, we do have to feel all that we're meant to from the ending of this past situation, okay? We also have for you meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces, okay? Again, I think that this is really saying that it's time for you to, excuse me, had a burp there, for you to focus on this ending, for you to really allow yourself to be absorbed in it, allow yourself to feel the feelings that you need to contemplate maybe where things went wrong, to contemplate why this needed to happen, you know, why this ending occurred. And you may not be ready to do that last part quite yet, and that's okay. Take your time. Sometimes even for me, like personally, it takes me a little bit of separation from an ending or from, you know, something happening for me to be able to like appreciate it or understand why it maybe needed to happen. And I do think it's important for you to spend some time alone, spend some time in meditation, grounding yourself, allow yourself to really explore how it is that you feel. I think I mentioned this for group number 1, but I'm getting the inclination that maybe you guys need to start journaling, and maybe that will help you kind of get through this last bit, like this ending, so that you're able to jump into your new beginning, right? When we really allow ourselves to open, or like to journal openly, we can contemplate in that journaling. We can really ask, you know, ourselves how we feel, where we think the situation went wrong or the relationship went wrong, you know, how we can do things differently in the future, all of those kind of things. So I think it's very interesting that that's coming out for you guys. We also have surrender to the divine, full moon. It's time to let go, you guys. This is another reminder that it's time for you to let go. And I had mentioned when I was going through your tarot cards initially that, you know, the more we try and cling on, the more that we try to resist this change, the harder it's going to be for us. Whatever we resist persists, right? And it's time for you to surrender. It's time for you to let go. It's time for you to move on to your next path, your next journey, and to just be, to allow yourself to just be. But yeah, it is time for you to let go. And then finally I have for you, well, I have like another little set of oracle cards too, but from this deck, a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. So I'm taking this a couple of different ways. For some of you, this could actually be like a new romantic relationship will be able to begin because one ended, or you're moving away from, you know, everything that you've ever known. You may be moving to a new city, state, country, whatever, you know, and you'll have this opportunity to meet someone new. And this can also be like a new romantic cycle with your life, like really romanticizing your life, falling in love with your life again. Because again, you know, this is the Ace of Wands, which talks about our passions, our soul's desires, our ability for expansion and growth that our soul really craves. And this could really be signifying a new romantic cycle, like a new love for your life, for your vitality, for being alive, you know, this new appreciation for being human. So I love that. I feel like it could be taken either way. So take what resonates for you. And then with this last deck here, we got Soak in a Bath for you. I really wanted Spirit to come through in this deck with some messages for you about how you can, you know, provide yourself love and care during this time to help you really focus on what you need to. Soak in a bath. You know, it's funny, this is coming out for me because the new moon in Pisces came up, and I'm a Pisces rising, and I say that nothing cures me more than water. You may, and I've seen something too before where like an astrologer talked about how we really like cleanse and heal ourselves best through the modality of our rising sign. So you may want to look into that more. You don't have to be a water rising sign to enjoy a good bath, but personally, as a Pisces rising, nothing makes me feel better than a soak in a tub or a nice warm shower, or, you know, soaking in some hot springs, diving into a lake. Like, there's something about the water that just really, really cleanses me and allows me to feel more like clear-headed and just in a better state. I can be in the worst mood and come home and take a shower and be a completely different person. So it may be time for you to do that. Spend some time in the water, allow your body to soak, especially if this last period for you has been very emotionally, mentally, physically draining. Allow yourself some time to relax. Literally light some candles. I have one of those like bath pillows that I can put for me to just like soak in the tub and like lean back into, because it's like super comfy. You can get one of those like trays and read your tarot cards, or, you know, read a book or watch something. You know, it's just really nice sometimes to have that alone time and to allow yourself to be submerged in the water. And it really, I think, does allow us to ground in a way and, you know, be present in the moment. So allow yourself that time, that space. And to me also, you know, this is saying that you may need some alone time right now to get through this ending, okay? And then finally, we have for you, ground yourself. Yeah, I think that whatever really kind of like speaks to you, but this is somebody in a meditative state as well. We did get meditate and contemplate. If meditation is something that speaks to you, I think it'd be a good time for you to re-engage in that practice if you haven't been. But literally grounding ourselves, going outside, you guys. Like, I'm gonna say this, just like, I feel the need to share this because you may feel similar, or you may have at one point in your life. I used to love being outside as a kid, and I felt the best when I was younger. And then as I went through my adolescence into early adulthood, I really lost that connection with nature, that connection with the outdoors. And I feel like I'm just getting back into it now and appreciating going outside on a walk, allowing myself to touch grass during the day. I literally even want to get into gardening, to touch, you know, the soil, to touch the earth. And I think that that can be very grounding for us, because it really does allow us to come back into our body and not allow our thoughts and our emotions to control us as much, and allow those things to like run amok, right? So there's a lot of different things that you can do to ground yourself. Do what resonates for you, do what sounds best for you, but spend some time outside, guys. That's what's really coming through. Spend some time in nature. Allow nature to heal you. I literally saw a quote the other day, and, you know I have men listening to this reading too, so this is definitely applicable to everyone, but it had literally said something along the lines of, when you're a woman, all you have to do is go out into nature to be healed. Look up at the stars, you know, take a dip in the lake, allow yourself to lay in the grass and look up at the sky, look at the clouds. It really is healing, and I feel like the earth is calling out for you and wants to have that connection with you again. So I'm going to go ahead and leave your reading here, group number 3. I really enjoyed this one. I hope that it resonated for you. If it did, leave me a comment down below letting me know. Give this video a thumbs up so that it can reach as many other people as possible that may need to hear today's message. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put out new pick a card readings, sometimes weekly tarot collective readings, and I do that once a week. But I love you guys so much, and I really hope that this was helpful for you, and I hope to see you in a future reading. Thanks. Bye.